and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the PowerCast, Team Powerhouse here. Erik and I are in two different locations today. Hopefully you can see us well on the screens, and we're very excited to have you here with us today.
I'm in a conference room in Hawaii.
I love it.
Next week's episode.
Yes, next week's episode. We've got lots to talk about today with you guys. We are going to talk about the process of moving. And if you haven't done it before, it is definitely something that is not easy. It's very stressful. And a lot of people like to take on that challenge in the process of moving, and they haven't done it before because they have their friends and family. They're going to visit them and help them out that day.
Did you say they like to take on that challenge?
Some people actually, it's funny you say it, Erik, that they
I haven't met that person yet.
I'll have clients that say, oh, no, we're going to pack our own stuff ourselves. We'll handle it no problem, right? And we got friends that we can depend on. And then what happens? They call them up. Hey, we need to have you tomorrow. Guess what happens? I'm not feeling well. I got a thing I got to do, and all of a sudden they're going to be stressed out.
I got a bar mitzvah I didn't know about.
Exactly. Oh, I forgot about the bar mitzvah.
Oh.
So when it comes to moving and whether it's your first time, let's talk about the first time buying a house. Ready? Someone hasn't purchased a house before and you want to get involved in getting ready for the.
There's a positive to that.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that somebody who's buying their first house is moving either from their parents' house or from an apartment, right?
That's true. Yes.
They don't have a lot of furniture.
That is very true. That is very true. And if they don't have a lot of furniture, which is a good point you make, when do you start looking to buy furniture, right? Because you have to be very careful in the process of buying
after you close.
Exactly. Erik is 100% right. Do not start shopping for furniture before you close in your house. Erik, tell them what happens.
Just don't have it delivered.
Well, you can't even buy it. You can't start buying it. If you start buying, what happens?
Finance it. You're talking about financing purposes.
That is true. But you also can't liquidate all the funds in your account either, because you start liquidating your funds, you're going to show debt. You're going to show money moving. The banks aren't going to like that. So it's very important to be very cautious about the planning on buying your first place and getting furniture for your new place. Window shop. Window shopping is important. Make lists. Talk about what you might need for your place, whether it's dining room tables and couches and beds and mattresses, silverware and plates, and how much do you really need to buy, right? People are getting married. I love when they have these lists of things that they want china. They put china on their list. How often does someone actually use china? Don't buy china. Buy paper plates.
I don't think I've ever used my china.
Right? Well, I remember my wife and I were getting married, and she was like, well, I want to order, special fancy china. I said, forget about it. Let's order paper plates and plasticware, because that china gets used once a year. Where are we going to put it? And then people get this china. Now they need a buffet to put the china into that sits there for a year, and maybe once.
Isn't that what the cabinet above the refrigerator that you can't reach is for?
That's true. If you have any questions, any thoughts or feelings, Facebook, Instagram, please send them out. Jonathan is standby behind the scenes and probably can get us our questions from you.
That's my best side.
Anyway, Erik, you look. So let's get back to what we're talking about. You're buying a house. You need furniture. And if you're buying your first place, Erik, like you said, you don't need a lot of things. Make a list of what you need to have, and let's go through the process, because when it comes time to move, two things. One, you want to make sure that you haven't bought the items yet. You won't get a mortgage. If you open a credit card, you're done. Forget about it. You're not buying a house anymore. So make that list, and make it a very scheduled plan of moving. I'm going to tell you in advance, if you have a plan to use friends and family, I would say to you, honestly, you're better than that. Get a moving company. But more importantly, if you own a house, Erik, like we have people buying and selling, you definitely want a moving company. Would you agree?
Yeah, that would be my first. That would be my first suggestion, is to use the professionals. But some folks have large families and very very helpful family members that are like, nah, I got this, we'll help you out.
And
But you want
then
to make sure you get a good list of family members. If you're asking for 20 and you get nine's good, but not nine, like 4 of them are nephews who are like 6, because that's not going to help you much.
And not to mention, realistically, the people who are, again, the moving process, the muscles that you're going to use, the body aches, your neck, your toes, your fingers, your wrist, your shoulders, your back. It is one very gruesome, very tough, and that's into a simple ranch house, all on one level. It's physically draining because you're moving from where you are into a moving vehicle, and then from that vehicle back into the house again, and then planning where everything goes. Not to mention, you're already going through the stress of buying a house. You got to be at the bank, get your deposit check, get to the closing. Who knows what time that closing is going to be, right? Things get moved around.
Side note, right? Daylight savings time. You want that stuff done by a certain hour because it's dark by like 4:08.
That's a good point. And how often do closings happen after 4 o'clock? More than ever, right? I mean, how often do you find closings happening before 2, 3 o'clock?
All the time.
All the time.
I got that kind of pull with my attorneys.
That is a good point. So let's say you have a closing 2, 3 o'clock. Then you're going to get back to the house, get to the vehicle, get the vehicle to the house. It's already 4 o'clock. It's dark out, right? So definitely, I suggest, number one, make a plan for a moving company. The moving companies, call them up a few different places. Read reviews about them. Your realtor should definitely have somebody to recommend to you. Take advantage of their recommendations. And the reason for that is because they've used them before. They've got great feedback. They're accountable. They're licensed. They're insured.
Pay very close attention to what they say they're going to do. Very recently, I had somebody who reached out to U-Haul, and they misunderstood what U-Haul told them they needed to do. So the day that they were looking to move, 3 containers were shipped to the house. The contract that they signed was for containers and movers.
Oh, wow.
3 containers showed up, but no movers showed up.
Oh.
So the movers were a third party. So what they do is they give you a list of these like 8 companies are associated with this U-Haul. Contact them and schedule everything. So listen carefully to the instructions, because you could have a container show up and nothing else.
That's a good point. I've actually never used U-Haul myself or recommended U-Haul to anybody from experience of a moving company per se.
Well, they sent these pods that were they're not your traditional metal pods.
Yep.
These things were made out of wood and canvas.
Wow.
Some nylon wrap. And I guess because of how busy they've been, some of their containers weren't available. So they made these little mini containers. It's cheaper too.
I'm sure the question is how good of a quality, protecting your product, etc., that you're moving, right? Because obviously people are moving things when they're moving from one house to another. Typically after your first purchase, the second house you're buying into and the things you have are probably a little more valuable and have a little bit more weight to them, I find. And the amount of items you need to move tends to grow going from your first place to your second place, assuming they're not getting rid of stuff. And let's talk about that also. How often when you own your first property, you're going to go to your second property and you've got things in your basement or things in storage that you've had for a while, and you haven't used them. And it could be because you didn't have space to use them, or because you just don't even care about them, but you don't either have the time to get rid of them or the patience to get rid of them. That's the time to start getting rid of things before you go into your new home and move the same, I'll call it crap, that you had been holding on to for the last 10 years, right?
Crap?
Well,
you mean like 30 boxes of comic books that you're waiting for the values to increase on? I'm not throwing those out.
Right. It's funny you mentioned that. I have a bunch of baseball cards that have been sitting in boxes that it's come time where I think that it's time to get rid of them and sell them, because they just sit there taking up all the space that you actually need for other things that are more important.
There you go. I'll give you $50 for everything.
We'll talk. So in the meantime, let's talk about all the stuff you have in your basement, all the things you have in your house. Start getting rid of that stuff. Get yourself a dumpster. And when you get a dumpster, listen, get the 30-yarder. Don't go to 10. Don't go to 15. Don't go to, you're going to pay another $100. You're going to have all the space you need because you're going to end up using it anyway. You'll be surprised how much crap is in your house that you need to get rid of.
And mattresses cost extra.
They do cost extra. You're absolutely right. And make sure you find out if you have mattresses to remove. If you're allowed to put them in that dumpster with the mattresses, old computers, right? There's lots of items you have to be very conscious of if you have to move them or get rid of them. So definitely make sure you want to. Oh yeah, Pat, I see that you're mentioning over here about my baseball card stash. Very good. Yeah, there's quite a few baseball cards for the last 30 years from when I was a kid growing up. But you definitely have in your basement. You have things in there you want to get rid of. Start doing it. And actually, this is the greatest time of year to do it. It's that winter into fall into winter or winter season. You're not doing as much. Start purging. Start getting rid of things. You'll feel better. How many of you have so much clothes in your closet? Let's start with simple clothes in your closet. Over the last 10 years you've had, most of us wear the same 10 shirts, 3 pairs of jeans, a few sweatsuits, right? I mean, Erik probably has more clothes than most of us. I'm just guessing. But
No.
you have clothes. You've got clothes.
Wait, you kidding me?
in your
This is the
closet.
4th show I've done with this shirt.
And listen, I got 8 shirts like this. Every day I wear a new one. You know what I mean? But you know, it's like, but seriously, you have clothes in your closet for the last 10 years that you need to consider starting to get rid of. Purge. I started doing this the other day. I started with I've got beautiful clothes, and it's not because I don't love them. I tend to go to the same group of shirts. So if you take the clothes, maybe there's somebody you know who might need them, who might love them. There are lots of places you can bring clothes, or their friends, family,
Goodwill.
people who are younger than you are. Goodwill, absolutely. And there's a lot of enjoyment you'll get by having someone else take advantage of those clothes, and your closet will reduce. And when it comes to go packing to get ready to move into a new place, you'll actually have more space in your closets for your stuff. So let's start with the fact in each individual room, right? So you're packing, you're thinking about what we're going to be packing for that move. Go room by room. Let's start with, could be the kids' room. How many toys do your kids really need, or do they have, or been there for years?
Are you trying to piss off the kids?
Explain to them that
they're already upset you're moving.
Well, hopefully they're excited about their new bedroom, more space.
We're moving, you're leaving your friends, and I'm throwing your toys away. Good move, Dave.
Good point. But the kids are excited about the move because they get the new bedrooms, right? The new closet space. They're going to meet new kids, go to new school systems. And more important, let's get rid of things. Everybody in every house I've ever been in. The funny thing is when I walk in the house the first time, or you walk in the house the first time, Erik, they go, hey, listen, we're not ready today. And we go, hey, listen, we're just happy to be here. We're sitting there with you. This is no judgment zone. And then they open the closets up and they're packed. They're packed with all this stuff, right? And the first thing we say to them is what? Start reducing this closet space so the closet doesn't look as small as it might be, right? So start the process.
But sometimes that's a benefit because, I mean, if you could fit an entire house in a closet, you know, that's a selling point.
Yeah, definitely good. No? There's a point there. He's got a great point. You can show how much.
Listen, I've seen walk-in closets that had like an entire bedroom set in there.
That's a big walk-in closet, but I know what you mean. That's very true. So definitely consider now as the time for a couple of things. One, if you're planning on selling and buying, you want to start going through the process of reducing as much as you can. Take as much stress off your shoulders because come time when you go into contract, which will happen pretty quickly, to the point where you're going to know you're closing in about a week or two, you want to be prepared in advance and wrapped up as much as possible. I promise you that if you're having a significant other that you live with, that you do not want to have a fight a World War III with them because it's very easy with the stress you have going on. Packing will create chaos. It'll create anger, hostility, frustration. You're already working every day. You're already exhausted. You come home. You're doing kid stuff. You got family things going on. The last thing you want to do is start to pack right before you're closing and lose it completely with each other. You might end up in divorce before you get to the new house. I've seen that happen before. That's not so good. Thoughts or feelings, Erik, on that one?
No, I'm leaving that one alone.
All right, so we're going to start reducing each room, right? Get into the rooms, start it now, get it, do it for yourself mentally and physically. You'll feel better about yourself. Number two, call some moving companies up, get some references, read reviews. These moving companies, they're used to you as the moving companies are used to. The phone fell. Oh, Erik fell on the table over there.
There we go.
What was I saying to you? The moving companies are used to, number one, you're gonna make an appointment with them to have a planned date to move, but they're used to things changing. They're familiar with it. They know it happens, and because it happens, they understand that the dates that you have are target dates. Stay in touch with your moving companies. Stay in touch with your attorneys, and don't freak out when dates change in the contract for closing. That happens very often. Erik, anything you want to say about that?
Well, it's to each their own. I mean, I've had folks who have done their own moving. I've had folks who have done moving trucks, and I've had folks who have done pods. And I mean, the age-old question is, do you use a pod or not? There's an advantage to a pod. There's absolutely an advantage to a pod. You can move 50% of the house into a pod and have it sitting in your driveway for a couple of weeks. To Dave's adage, you could be halfway done, and be sure, and it'll help. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look great in the driveway per se, right? But if you've got that stuff out of the house, it makes the house look better on the inside sometimes,
Absolutely great point, my friend. Absolutely. And by the way, if we haven't mentioned again all the different social media aspects we have, please go to our YouTube channel, Team Powerhouse Real Estate, hit subscribe. Every week our podcasts are live there and also back for review. Jonathan on Saturday, our marketing guy, will edit them, make them look even more exciting and sassy. You can watch them, you can listen to them. Go to Spotify. We are on Spotify, Team Powerhouse Real Estate, the PowerCast. You can listen to these shows in the car, on the ride, at the gym. When you just want a little something to listen to, we have lots of different shows we did. I think we have about 26 shows right now.
When you're moving,
which is pretty amazing.
You can listen to the podcast while you're moving.
Yeah, you definitely can. Absolutely. But the Spotify is fantastic source for all types of podcasts. What I like about it is I actually will listen to our podcasts often, and we're actually doing that. We definitely find that people have a chance to pause it, listen to it later, get back to it. But there's a lot of great responses from the Spotify, listening to it on Spotify as well. We love when you're watching us for this live over here today, and we're very happy to have you. And by the way, at the end of the show, we all have a lucky winner we picked out for the Golf Cove gift card, which we're very excited to announce at the end of the show here too. All right, so we got YouTube, we got Instagram, we have Spotify, we have the TikTok channel on Team Powerhouse Sells. Make sure to check us out there for all updated information about what's coming on the market, little videos and tidbits. We like to make things fun and exciting. All right, going back to our conversation on moving.
So
Erik,
pizza makes a great incentive to get folks to help you move.
I definitely agree with you. Pizza, you need the energy, the carbohydrates, and it should be good pizza, right?
I don't know. You're going to use good pizza on movers?
I think the kind of people, if you actually have friends who are actually helping you out, I think that if you bring in some crappy pizza.
You can't bring Domino's or something like that.
What's wrong with Domino's?
Nothing, Domino's. Sorry.
We just lost
your Sally's or Pepe's.
We just lost Domino's.
Sally's or Pepe's, you're not ordering Domino's.
That's a good point. Sally's and Pepe's are definitely, and especially if you're within 30 minutes of New Haven, you definitely should consider those great places. A lot of great pizza where you live, where around us. Yeah, definitely want to get some carbohydrates and some beverages. On pizza?
Yeah.
We should definitely do a show on pizza. We do have some clients who own pizza restaurants as well. That can be another option. Speaking of that, We have a lot more to talk about what's coming on over the next few weeks that we've got. We want to thank you, first of all. Thank you all so much for paying attention, watching our podcast. We have all these businesses that are actually asking now to come on the podcast, which are fantastic for us, for you, and getting you guys to know as much as possible. As a matter of fact, speaking of moving, we know a number of moving companies that would probably love to come on the show. We won't mention any names right now, but maybe they'll come on and talk a little about that.
And maybe we can get some coupons
for our clients. Absolutely.
There you go.
Love that. So you're planning the move. You start getting rid of the stuff in your house. You're starting to condense. And as Erik mentioned, getting a pod wouldn't be a bad idea. Moving things into the pod and then having that pod removed. But I will tell you, it's definitely something to get a moving company. In my experience, in my opinion, people don't realize what it takes to move. I don't care how strong you are, how great shape you are. Going and picking up boxes up and down, going back and forth, up and down stairs. It is one of the most physically exhausting things you could ever do. You will wish you paid, and you'll pay double the time it's happening on the move when it happens. So definitely be a planner. Make sure your moving companies are licensed, insured. Are they used to packing up small items? What are their characteristics? Like, what kind of things you have in your house that you need to move? Do you have a lot of glass items or tchotchkes or porcelain items? Erik?
No, I think most folks, when it comes to their delicates, so to speak, I think they're gonna pack those up themselves.
I actually had a client that an older woman, she's a sweetheart, a good friend of my mother-in-law, was moving from Connecticut to Maryland. And she had these little porcelain, I'll call them tchotchkes, hundreds of them. And they came into her house and they wrapped every individual little piece, put them in the box nice and neatly. And then they went in a truck and went all the way to Maryland from Connecticut. I got a phone call from the family thanking me for the referral of this company and how well they treated their mom. And it meant the world to them. So definitely make sure that you are, preparing yourself in advance.
Well, you definitely want to, what you were talking about with like references and stuff like that. If you know somebody who's had a moving company be that precise, you want to take note of that, because I'm sure just as much as you've had somebody who had an awesome experience, I'm sure there are people that have had absolute nightmares using moving companies.
There have definitely been some stories about moving companies. I think most of them are more positive than negative. That's why I said it's important to make sure you review the companies out there. There's always a possibility of a bad experience, whether it's using friends, family, or moving companies. I think the hardest part with friends and family is them not being able to be there the day they can move. And that is more stressful than anything else, because how much work is involved.
Never mind that. What if your favorite cousin drops or breaks like your records or something?
You're right.
That's it.
You're absolutely right.
You not only lost your records, but you lost a cousin.
And a lot of these moving companies, they actually pack your house up for you as well. They have an a la carte option. They'll come in with the bubble tape, the boxes, go into your house, wrap your silverware, wrap your plates, wrap your furniture up. They will come in, they will empty your closets out. I've actually seen that happen.
They have the boxes with the rail on it. That they take everything out of your closet and hang it, box it, take it.
That's a good point. As a matter of fact, I just noticed Patrick is reaching out. I see some messages coming through the screen. Pat Pagan over there, thank you so much. That's a great suggestion. And I definitely suggest that people do that. Definitely consider that as a major part of your moving plan. Because when you're moving clothes, right, and that's a whole nother level of moving. How much clothes you have? Shoes, right? Shoes, shirts. I mean, I know that I have a ton of clothes. And I know that if I have to move all my stuff, I keep everything on hangers, right? I like things on hangers because I know it's going to stay nice and less wrinkly. You have to pull it out, all kind of stuff. So it's important, again, to have those moving pieces available to you to be able to make that move, and those companies who can help you in packing your homes up. I like that. That's a good stuff, Pat. Michael Cristoforo, I see, is paying attention to us live over here on the show as well. Erik, I'm not sure if you see it over here. He listens to Spotify, us on Spotify all the time. And we love that you do that, Michael. Michael Cristoforo is one of our head mortgage brokers that we work with. He's phenomenal. Big shout out to Michael, who was on our podcast in the first couple of weeks when we came on the show. We'll have to get him back on the show over here because he has a lot to talk about and bring some new light to what's going on in the market and mortgages. Him and Mandy have done ACEs with guaranteed rate, and they've definitely made a big difference for us as agents in this market in real estate. Let's talk about the real estate market right now a little bit too, because we've seen some homes that are not sold and they're coming back in the market. And the ones that come back in the market are good because we need property. If you have a house to sell,
No.
I can't express.
Why did it come back on the market?
A good question. I think what happened was some people actually priced their house a little higher than they should have. And they're probably needing some work to their house. They probably haven't done the preparation that they should. And as agents, when we walk into your house, it's crucial. It is crucial to make your house look prepared. And that means that getting it ready for sale is a lot more than just putting a sign in your front lawn and having your house go on the market. The people who listen to us and listen to your realtors, they make a big difference, and makes a big difference for you in getting your house sold. That means start to reduce as much again as possible out of your house. Get it out. Let your house show as the space that it has and needs. We just listed a house, actually, Erik. A condo yesterday in Wallingford, a two bedroom, one bath. Right. The young lady who owns this condo, she was aces, everything we need to do. We came today to do photos. It was perfection. As a matter of fact, we had people asking us if this house was staged in advance because it looked that great. One in the market, had several showings the first day, popped the first time in the market, first day in the market, before even 24 hours. I think we were in the market for maybe 8 hours, and the offers that were coming in were bananas. So definitely get your house, get your condo, get your property ready. This is the time to do it. We promise you, if you listen to us and getting your house prepared, your condos prepared, you're gonna have an amazing experience. So take the stuff out, get a fresh coat of paint in there, and don't go painting yourself, because you know what? You're not a professional painter. And two things happen with that. While you're working, take care of your family, your kids, you don't have time, which is gonna make your property on the market longer and later than it should be now. Number two, the cost of having someone come paint your place, because it's not that expensive. Number two, it'll look better. And with that being said, you can get your house in the market sooner and get your house for more money for your house because it came in the market now with less competition. So right now, it's funny. I put coming soon into the category. If I pick no towns in all of Connecticut, there's 64 homes coming soon. That's not enough. In all of Connecticut, there's only 64 homes coming in the market. Guys,
Coming
when
soon.
I say coming soon, yeah, that we know of, 64 in the whole. Let's go to New Haven County for a second. In New Haven County, we see 12 coming soon on the market. In Middlesex County, there's 3 properties coming soon.
Well, I mean, holidays are coming up.
4, yes.
You know,
but people need to buy. They want to buy, and it could be the best Christmas gift ever to somebody. Is your home coming in the market for sale? So Litchfield has 4 houses coming soon. Hartford County has 16 homes coming in the market soon. They got the most so far coming soon. Fairfield County has 14 homes coming soon. Guys, if you have a property that you're thinking about selling, we cannot express to you enough, you want to get this to happen. The rates are still low. And there's an opportunity for the buyer and the seller. Let's see, Erik. Any town specific we should pick up and talk about?
Any towns?
Yeah, let's pick up some towns over here. Let's do maybe
Guilford.
How about North Haven? What's that?
Okay, North Haven.
North Haven. We're cutting out on you, buddy, over here. So I see 1 house coming soon. There are 35 active properties. Of those, there are 26 single-family homes. And a price range in North Haven, you have from, let's see, as low as 240,000 to 2.4 million. It's a big range right there. It's a huge gap. But
You could say
in all of North Haven, up to, how about this? Up to $400,000, there's 9 homes for sale. It's not a lot of houses in all of North Haven, 9. Up to 400,000, up to 500,000, 13. All right, let's pick another town out over here. Let's go with Cheshire. In Cheshire, there are 38 homes for sale in all of Cheshire. 29,000 people in Cheshire, right? Let's use the price range from 200,000 to 300,000. You've got 6, 7. From 300 to 400, you got 7. And from 400 to 500, you've got 3. How about Wallingford? In all of Wallingford, 18 homes. From 170 to 315, there's 6 homes. All right, everybody. I think you're picking up the drift of what's going on in the market. Get your house ready for sale. We would love to work for you. You might have a realtor already. That's okay. But if we're able to help you out and you'd like our assistance, Erik and I and our team are here for you. Please reach out to us. We're available here through Facebook, Instagram. You can pick the phone up and call us. You can Google us. Whatever it needs to be to get a hold of us, we're here for you. And we're excited to work for you. Erik, let's get Jonathan back on the line over here to get this week going. In the meantime, let's talk about the winner that we picked out for the Golf Cove gift card. Erik, would you like to share that information out? All right, the winner for the Golf Cove gift card.
winner is Powell Chodos.
Nice job, Powell Chodos. Very excited for you, my friend. You're gonna love this place to go play golf. I know your kids play golf. You know, a lot of fun over there. It's one of the most amazing places you've ever been to before, and we're very excited for you. Jonathan, let me just ask you, do you have the wheel ready for us to hit the spinning wheel for a tumbler? Jonathan?
This
Okay, Jonathan, we can't
and
hear
it is
it.
all ready to go. So let's
All right,
do
let's
this.
get that wheel up there.
This is the first time seeing my face too. So, all right.
Yes.
That's flying.
Oh, the anticipation.
Kyle Murphy, you are the lucky winner for tonight. Kyle Murphy.
Yeah, Kyle. Oh, that's awesome, my friend. Very excited for you, buddy. Very nice. We're looking
that
forward to
somebody we
getting that
know?
out to you.
Dave,
Yeah,
do you
it's
know
one of my clients.
Kyle?
I definitely know Kyle Murphy. Absolutely. Very excited for you, my friend. I hope you're watching the show. We will get that out to you. I'll be in touch with you very soon. Everybody, thank you so much for joining Erik and I here today in the podcast, talking about moving, getting your house ready to move. Please stay tuned for next week. We got some exciting people coming on the show, and we'll kind of get more with what's going to happen and let you know with our blasting information. In the meantime, please keep staying on the show, watching the show with us. Watch us on social media. Friend us on our Team Powerhouse page. Erik, I know, is on social media. Go on his page.
Do we not have a celebrity on next week?
We might have somebody on next week.
You're so good at getting celebrities on the show. Figured.
Well, it's funny, Erik. So we have a number of people coming on the show that are coming on, and I kind of don't want to get the people to know too much information too quickly. But here's what I'll tell you. We're going to have some people that are in the industry of teaching and schooling. One of the young ladies will be going to come in the show. She actually is working with kids who are special needs. And we're going to go over school systems and places that she can help you to know what great towns to move into for those special needs. We have a guy coming on the show who is in the industry of edibles. And one of the biggest founders of edibles in the country. All right. And you might know who he
edibles.
is. We cannot
nice classification.
Yes, he is one of the most well-known people in the industry. We're coming on our show as well. We've got a lot of great people coming on the show over the next few weeks. If there's something you want to hear about, if something you want to know about, learn about, people you want to have on the show, if you're a business that wants to come on the show and talk about what you do, we would love to have you. Real estate, businesses, and people in the know. We're here for you. We're excited to have the show for you every week. We love doing it. And thank you so much for joining us every week and being here with us. And we have to get back our mortgage people for this upcoming new year to let them know about the new financing that came out and the levels of how much you can get a mortgage for because of the market going up so high. They've now expanded the amount of money you can borrow. Again, thank you so much, guys, for joining us again. We look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll see you next week, and thank you so much. Erik, thank you, buddy.
Peace.